Hello, my name is Kira, and today we are going to learn how to tie a bowline knot. The bowline is one of the most widely used knots in boating. It's extremely secure and allows you to create a non-slip loop in a piece of line. In boating, we refer to rope as line, so if you hear me use the word line in this video, that is what I'm referring to. The bowline is a strong knot that can handle a lot of weight and is often used to secure your boat to a dock mooring or other boat. While primarily used in boating, it can be used in everyday life as well. And if you are going to learn how to tie only a few knots, it's an essential one to learn. So let's get into it. The first thing you want to do is take your line in both hands. You are then going to create a loop with your line, and you're going to want to make sure the loose end is the end that crosses over the top of your loop. Once you have made your loop, you will take the end of the line, bring it through the loop. Make sure you're holding the cross of the loop. And you don't need to bring it all the way through the loop, because actually when you tie the knot, this here is going to be the loop you're left with. So the more line you leave here, the bigger your loop will be. So keep that in mind when tying your knot. So you've brought your end through the hole. What you're going to do next is you're going to come down between the cross of your loop. You're then going to take the end and bring it around the line on the bottom of your loop. You're going to come all the way around and back up front. And then you are going to take the end and go through the loop again. Next, you're going to make sure you're holding the two ends of the line that are in your hole here, the bottom line in your cross of your loop, and you are going to pull that line, and you can pull these other two as well. And here is your knot. So if you see, you've got your loop coming around here with your line coming up the middle and this line across the top here. This is what the knot should look like. You should be able to loosen it easily like that. And if you look around here, this is the loop that you've created. Your knot is sturdy, so your loop should not go anywhere. And you can toss this over anything you want, attach it to anything you want. You've got a loop now. Another way to think about tying a bowline is with a little mnemonic story that we have. It's very helpful for kids who are learning how to tie a bowline for the first time, but it's just a super easy little story to help you remember how to tie the knot. So we're going to start by creating our loop again. Remember, the loose end comes on top, and we're going to hold our fingers where the lines meet again. This time, we're going to pretend the end of our line is a rabbit. So we're going to take our rabbit, and our rabbit's going to come up through the hole. Now this hole happens to be at the bottom of a tree, and the rabbit decides to go around that tree. This bottom line is our tree. And then the rabbit decides to go back into the hole. And then we hold our lines and we pull. And you'll see I didn't have as much slack this time, so my loop was a lot smaller. If we want to go over that again, we are going to create our loop, take our rabbit's going to come up through the hole, around the tree, and back down through the hole. And I'm going to hold these lines and pull. Ta-da! Most of the time when we're tying a bowline, we are actively tying the line around something, a post, a mooring, anything we're trying to secure our boat to, or for whatever other reason you're tying a bowline, you often are creating a loop to attach it to something else. So it is useful to know how to tie the bowline directly around what you are trying to secure the line to. So in this case, what we do is we take our line and we thread it around whatever we're trying to tie it to. So here is our loop. The size of it will depend on your positioning, but we've got our loose end and then the longer end of the line here. So you want to create your loop on the longer end of the line. You still want your loose end, but as you see here, I've done my loop incorrectly. I still want the loose end on top, and we want the loop on one side of the object you are securing the line to and the loose end on the other. So I'm going to take my loose end over to my loop. My rabbit is going to come up through the hole, around the tree, and back through the hole. And I'm going to pull my 3 lines again. And here I'm attached. If I wanted to make it a tighter loop, I would make my loop a little closer and then just make sure I thread my rabbit, my loose end of line, tighter. Then I go around my tree, back through the hole. I pull my 2 lines, and you can see now I've created a tighter loop. It's important to remember to cross your loose end over the top. If you were to cross it the other way and then bring the line up through the hole, around the tree, and back through the hole and pull your lines, you'll see you've created a figure 8 knot. If you were to create your loop, come up through the hole, and think that your loose end was the tree, so you went around that instead, and then went back through and pull your lines, you'll see it'll fall apart as well. So remember, it can very easily go wrong, but we want to create our loop, come up through the hole, around the tree, and back down through the hole, and we hold these 2 and this one and pull. And this is what our finished bowline looks like. It's got a U shape, this horizontal bit, and your line is coming through this U shape here, almost like a tongue coming out of a mouth. And then you've got your loop here. And that is how you tie a bowline knot. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you found this video worthwhile. Goodbye.